Yeah, hello. Hello everyone. Thank you for coming back. Oh my goodness. Thank you very, very much for being here. I'm sorry, I had a terrible thing. I was all black and white. I'm hoping that everyone can come back and join. Because there are loads of people, and now all of a sudden everyone's disappeared. Everyone's gone to go and have a coffee elsewhere. Let's see if anyone comes back. Isabella, you're here. You might. Oh no, I turned it off, Isabella. I turned. Yeah, hello, Lynn. Yeah, so I was looking around for to see how I can turn myself back to being colour and not black and white, because that was just making me feel depressed. I saw a thing that said to turn gifts off, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna turn that off, because like people are really lovely, but actually I don't need you to be spending money on me. It's really kind of people to send me gifts, but I thought I'm going to send that off, and I was like, so I hope you don't mind. I mean, if you want to do anything, just tap the screen to show that you like the live, and that would be really lovely and helpful. So I hope that's all right. I just thought to myself, I don't want you to be spending your money on me, honestly, because everything I do here is free. I did it, I know, Amira. I had to search everywhere because if you weren't here before, when I first started, it was all black and white and very, very sludgy. So yeah, no filter. I wasn't aware that I'd put a filter on, but obviously fat fingers, I must have done. So anyway, Simon, well, hey, nice to see you. Good that you've made it today. Isabella says, respect your decision. You look wonderful. Oh, thank you. Hope you've had some time for yourself too. I have, yeah. I've went and had my hair cut today. I don't know if you can see. I'm not sure if it looks massively different, but yeah, hopefully. I have to say, this week, I've felt recently like it's all been quite a lot recently. I've been really busy on work and teaching and lots of stuff. And I've tried to step back from social media. I've not been posting as much. If I feel like it, I post, and if I don't, I don't. So I think it's really important, don't you, to listen to yourself when you're feeling a bit stressed. So, so I like a ghost. I like ghosts says, you seem so nice. I try. Thank you. Nathan wants to be best friends forever. Well, hey, I'm here every Friday. Morning, Julie from California. It's very lovely to see you. I hope that you are all right. I know it's very, very early in the morning for you, so you're very welcome here. Julie's one of my moderators. Got a lovely team of moderators. Julie has just joined us, but I also have the lovely Lynn 250, who's amazing. I have Vicky Hodson and Jasmine. I don't think Jasmine's got loads of work to do today, so I don't think Jasmine will be with us. But thank you so much. Oh, Isabel, was that you? Is that Isabella? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm going mad. I'm getting messages through I've got Isabella here who's sending me a message, and then I had an Isabel send me a message. So if that's the same Isabel, then bonjour. And if it's not, well, what a coincidence. So let's have a look. Well, thank you. I like ghosts. That's kind about saying that my hair looks nice. That's cool. Let me have a look at some of these messages, because I'm a little bit discombobulated, having made a disaster of the last live. It all went horribly wrong, and then this live looked like it was going the same way. So Kirsty Ann, nail artist. Hey, hope you're having a good day. I am. Thank you very much. I am having a good day. Ed. So Ed is saying, I'm scared my sister is done with me. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me know a bit more. What's going on? How can I help, Ed? I'm sorry to hear that. And oh gosh, our pug family says, I've been suffering from anxiety during the menopause. It's completely floored me. Oh gosh, so that's I'm sorry to hear that too. Let me write some of these down whilst I explain who I am and why I'm here and what I'm going to be doing, okay? So menopause, anxiety, and Ed, you're talking about your sister finished with you. Let's have a look. Kirsty Ann says, do you have any tips for severe anxiety? I have panic attacks every day and muscle paralysis with them. Oh my goodness, that must be really hard. Lasts for about 45 minutes. Okay, so let me make a note of that. Kirsty Ann. Ali, it's so nice to see you. Welcome. I hope you're all right. Ali is all the way over in Australia. So were you in Melbourne? I think you're in Melbourne, Ali. I might be wrong. Forgive me if I am. I hope you're well. It's lovely to see you. Okay, so I've made a note of 3 questions there. I'm just going to have a little look through. Thank you so much. If you're following, if you're liking, then that's fantastic, and I'm really appreciative of it. I've turned off the sending gifts facility purely because I honestly appreciate your kindness so much, the people that send gifts to me, but honestly I don't want anyone to be paying money, because I don't want, most of that money anyway, to be honest with you, goes to TikTok, and I think they've got enough money, and I am very happy in my life, and I honestly, it's not something that I ask for or need, even though I massively have appreciated it in the past. So I've turned that off. So this is all completely free. So no subscriptions, no gifts, no list of things that I want. So anyway, thank you. So my name's Sarah. I'm a therapist. I had done a really lovely graphic to go up here so that you could see my contact details and you could find out who I am and all that kind of stuff. And it was all just such a terrible start to the beginning of this live, but that's all gone pear-shaped and I can't be bothered to find that now. I'll do it for next time. So I'm a therapist. I am what is known as a QCH therapist. That stands for Quest Cognitive Hypnotherapy. And it's a therapy that's a talking therapy. It's very gentle. It's very practical. There's more information on it through my profile. There's a link tree to all sorts of information and free resources. So, and I'm here today. I'm going to be answering questions about stuff, about anxiety, about what's going on for you. And I'll do my best. And I'm joined by a lovely team. And Lynn has posted there, she's pinned a comment. Welcome everyone to today's live. This is a safe and calm place. I can't see the rest of it. Please keep the comments nice. Yeah. So we really, really, over the last couple of years, have worked hard to create a community of people. And it's a safe space. It's a community where we're friendly. Lots of people who come on here, you might be struggling. You can see already I've got 3 questions there that I'm going to be answering. And if this isn't your cup of tea, then that's fair enough. But we just ask that everyone's kind and friendly, really. So that is what this is all about. So let's have a look. So I can't answer all of the questions that come here. But I'll do my best. So I'm going to start. Let's just get going. So our pug family says that you're going through the menopause and that you're really struggling with anxiety with the menopause. So I'm really sorry to hear that. And personally, I've been through the menopause and I was very lucky. But I have friends and family and know lots of people who are going through the menopause, and it can make you feel really anxious. What happens is that when your estrogen levels begin to drop, what happens is that often your cortisol levels, which is one of the stress hormones, can begin to rise, and so that in itself can make you feel more anxious. Plus, if you think that our nervous systems are constantly scanning our environment externally, the stuff that's going on around us, but also internally, and then if you're going through the menopause and you start sensing your nervous system unconsciously starts sensing, oh my God, I'm having hot flushes. Oh, I'm forgetting things. Oh, my body's changing. Oh, I feel this way. And maybe society's seeing me in a different way. Well, that's enough to make anyone's nervous system go into protection. So not only are you dealing with all of those physical changes, you've got the chemical changes in your body, which is going to start making you feel different, and it's going to start making your nervous system go into protection. And when we go into protection, we create more adrenaline, more cortisol, and that is anxiety. That's what makes us feel anxious. So what can we do about this? Now, I've seen a few questions here, people saying, oh, do you give any advice about anxiety? Yes, I do. And if you've got time, what I would say is go and have a look on my grid. There are categories on my grid: anxiety information, techniques for calming, breath techniques. There are specific segments on health anxiety, social anxiety, agoraphobia, emetophobia, all sorts of things. Work your way through them. The way that I work is that with my clients, we talk about creating an environment of safety first. So to be doing things that help your nervous system feel present, safe, comfortable. Lynn says, please be sure to check out Sarah's page. Lots of helpful tips and techniques there. Thank you, Lynn. You are a star. And so we can do that whole creating an environment of safety, spending time each day doing things that we really look forward to, we love doing when we're doing them, and we can look back on in pleasure. And with doing those, that begins to create an environment where we have the release of the hormones that show our nervous system, oh, we're safe, we are present at this moment in time, all is well. As well as doing that, there's, as Lynn says, that I've also got lots of techniques that you can do, breath techniques and so on. With my clients, and it may well be with you as well, there are times where it's not just the environment that you're experiencing right now. Maybe it's that you're matching with something that's happened in your past. Maybe there's been a traumatic event and your brain has survived, you survived that event, and you're making matches. So every time your brain makes a match with that red flag from your past, it throws you into fight or flight. So I hope that helps a little bit. When you have that going on, that's when you really need to go and see a therapist of whatever ilk, whatever suits you best. Okay, so I think, so that's the decision. So I would say have a look at the stuff that I share on my page, see if that's helpful for you. And if it still isn't quite hitting the spot, then consider looking at working with a therapist, because a therapist can help you go back to what's the traumatic event that has made your nervous system hypervigilant, really aware of the potential for threat in your life. So you're constantly being triggered, if that makes sense. I hope that helps a little bit, our pug family. There's a really helpful, if you look at I think it's the Menopause Society, they have lots of helpful stuff. My friend and colleague Pat Duckworth, so that's duck as in the duck, an animal, and worth, WORTH, Pat Duckworth. She is a therapist. She is a world-renowned expert on menopause. She's written, I think, about 5 books. She speaks internationally, and she's got a very helpful website. And she often does courses about menopause, and that can be very, very helpful. She also runs menopause cafes. If you're in Hertfordshire, then there's a really lovely menopause cafe that she does in Royston. So you are not alone going through menopause. So I think talking about it, normalising it, and beginning to reframe what it means for you can be really, really helpful. So I hope that's helpful for you. Thank you to everyone who is here and who's liking the live, because every time you tap the screen, it sends the live to other people. And so that's hopefully really helpful. What I want and what my team want, Team Sarah, we want to help as many people as possible, because so many people suffer from anxiety these days, don't they? You know, I think even if we don't suffer from it ourselves, we will know people who are really anxious. And the more people that we can get this information out to, the better. So liking it, if you tap the little arrow and share to people, maybe save the live, that can be really helpful. Thank you so much for all of you who are doing that, and to all of you who are following me. I really appreciate it. Also, if you're just popping in, if you're on a bit of a work break and you're thinking, oh, I'm just going to do a sneaky bit of TikTok for a while, and you're thinking, actually, this is quite interesting, then do not despair. I always upload these to my YouTube, which is Sarah Aris Therapy. So I don't know whether, Lynn, maybe you could pin that post for a little bit as well, so people can see that. If you subscribe to my YouTube, then I put various videos on there, but there's always these sort of long, hour-long lives. So, Suki, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're feeling comforted. It's very nice to have you here. I really appreciate that. Gosh, Josh, what's the best piece of advice I've been told? That is, that's, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll come back to that. Let's have a look. Any more comments here? Thank you all for being here. Oh, that's my pleasure, our Pug family. I'm glad that was helpful. Hopefully, you'll be able to, you know, this is temporary. It will come to an end. And if you spend time doing the stuff you love, then, you know, that can be really helpful. I look at menopause, you know, I know I'm through it, but I look at it as a transition into a whole new life, a whole new way of being, and that's quite exciting. Let's have a look. We did or something similar and have a little go. Okay, I couldn't really understand that. So that's Jessica. I'm not sure what your question is there, so apologies. So let me just go to this. So Ed's not come back with the thing about his sister. So if I get any information, Ed, if you're still here, then I'll answer that. But I'm going to go on to Kirsty Ann and answer your question, Kirsty Ann. Kirsty Ann says that she has really bad anxiety and that sometimes she gets muscle paralysis. So firstly, I would say go to your doctor. That's the very first thing that I would always recommend to anyone. If you get any physical symptoms with anything, even if you think, oh, I think it's this, go to your doctor, get it checked out, just to be safe. Better to find out and get it sorted. Make sure that it's not anything physical, and then we can look at the potential the potential that it might be anxiety, and then you can do something about that. Okay, let's have a look. Gosh, so many questions coming through, and I get distracted, and I'm thinking, I wish I could answer everyone's questions. But let me just get on with answering Kirsty Ann. So my apologies if I don't answer your question, but we are here every Friday. So, you know, please come and ask, and I'll do my best. So with Kirsty Ann, with your anxiety, with the muscle paralysis, so I experienced something similar to this myself. The one time I had a panic attack, which is probably 25 years ago now, and it was all connected to my breathing. So what happened to me is that my hands got pins and needles, and my hands, they sort of went like that, and so they were completely paralyzed. And I was like this. I was thinking, oh my God, what's happening to me? And I went to accident and emergency, and the doctor there said, oh, this is all to do with your breathing. You've had a panic attack, and this has affected your muscles. So it could well be that, but please do get it checked out by your doctor physically. The things that you can do about that are all the things that I talk about on my page. So what's happening is probably, potentially, and I'm very loath to make a diagnosis over TikTok. So this is why I'm stressing that you go to see your doctor. But a possibility is that your breathing has changed, because when we are in fight or flight, when we go into protection, because our nervous system believes there to be a threat out there, what happens is that we have lots and lots of adrenaline and cortisol released into our system. Our heart beats very quickly because we want lots of oxygen being sent to our big muscles so that we can run away. And also we change our breathing. We can be like this, or we can hold our breath, and that in itself is hyperventilating. It's deliberate, sort of unconsciously deliberate, but that can, although it's getting oxygen to your big muscles, it can also make you feel a bit sick, it can make you feel a bit faint, and it could potentially change the way your muscles are. So to long, slow out breaths is the way forward. If you have a look, I'm not sure if it's one of my pin posts, but on my categories there's breathing techniques, and there's a triangle breath, which is very, very helpful and simple. So you just breathe in along this line at the top of your hand, and then out. Breathe in, out. And you just keep doing that, nice and slow everything down. You don't need to worry about your in-breath, because you're naturally doing that plenty. You're never going to not breathe in. You're just long, slow out breath. Breathe in, long, slow out breath. And it's not necessarily easy, and that's why with all of the techniques that I share, I always say practice these when you don't need them, because when you're in the middle of a panic attack, it's really difficult to think straight. It's really hard. It's like, it always drives me nuts. Now, so you see this, people going, oh yes, when you're in the middle of a panic attack, look for 5 things that you can see. Look for 4 things you can hear. I can never remember that. I've not said all of what you're supposed to do there, because I'm feeling perfectly fine and I can't remember it now. So how anyone remembers that when they're in a full-fledged panic attack, God only knows. But anyway, that's my rant, the side by side. Make the techniques as simple as possible, because simplicity is the key, making them second nature, so that you practice them. So you're sitting watching telly and you're completely relaxed. You're thinking, I'm just going to do that triangle breathing technique. And you just sitting there going in, out. So your brain and your nervous system gets used to being here, now, present. Does that make sense? Let's have a look. I hope so. So hopefully that's helpful. Let me have a little look here. Oh dear, my phone's fallen. So my phone, I bought myself a really nice phone holder so that I could have my phone charging and be talking. And my son has nicked it. So if you're watching this, son number 1, I want my charger back. And then he says that it's in my husband's boot of his car, but I can't see it. So honestly, children, sometimes it's very annoying. So this is why my phone is propped up on a pencil case, leaning against my laptop. Anyway, okay. Let me have a look. Oh, so Savannah. Hello, Savannah. It's my ex's daughter's birthday tomorrow, and I'm feeling overwhelmed by it that I cannot see her. Oh, bless you. That's hard, isn't it? I do feel for you. And there are some things that we can do something about, and there are some things that we can't do anything about, unfortunately. And I think it's about being kind to yourself and allowing yourself to feel the feeling, to tell yourself, to reassure yourself that you're only human, and of course you miss her. But if there's nothing that can be done about that. I don't know what the ins and outs of the situation are. Then maybe if there is a way that, you know, safely you can send a message, or I don't know, but I mean, don't break any rules anyway, will you? I think sometimes we have to work towards an acceptance that perhaps that relationship is over. And I know that must be really upsetting for you, but it will get easier over time. I imagine that there's the grief that you're going through, which is so hard. So I feel for you, Savannah. That's horrible. Anna, I see here, so the tips that I was talking about there, which are causing nausea, the ones that I was just talking about there, hopefully could help you too. So let me see here, what other questions have I got? Okay, let me see. Thank you for all of these comments. Oh, that's very nice. So Julie Reese-Deaver, who's another one of my lovely moderators, says that my meditation downloads are very helpful too. So thank you very much. So through my link tree on my profile page, you can see on my website, I have 3 free downloads, because what happens is when I actually work with clients who come to me, and they're obviously my paying clients, I always, as part of the therapy, write what are called word weaves. And these are partly relaxation, and they're partly hypnotic suggestion. So so it's not just a relaxation thing, it's written specifically for the client. And so I thought to myself, well, it'd be quite interesting for people to hear what that sounds like. So there's sort of general generic ones that I've written, which are really nice and relaxing, but if people come to me as clients, then obviously they're written for them specifically. So I'm glad that you like them, Julie. That's nice to know. Okay. Oh gosh. So Ali, my mental health is in gradual steady decline. Tips to help stop trying to stay out of hospital. I do feel for you, Ali. I know that it's a struggle sometimes, and you've been through so much. I'm not sure if it's right for me to be giving you lots of advice, because I think that I would imagine that you have a team around you, and I think it's very important to communicate with them, because they know you far better than I do. And I think perhaps to contact them and talk to them and ask them for strategies is really good. I always say that self-care is massively important, taking time to look after you, taking time to be kind to yourself, to be reassuring, to do the things that you love. It's really, really important. And yeah, I feel for you. I hope that you can stay out of hospital, but sometimes hospital is the right place, isn't it, to allow you to heal and to begin to build again. But yeah, I'm really sorry that I can't help more than what I've said there. Bless you. I'm so glad that you're here. I love it when I see your little profile picture pop up. That is always a pleasure to have you here, and I know the rest of the team feel that as well. I'm sorry that I can't be more helpful, really. Let's have a look. Jasmine says, I've been diagnosed with PTSD, BPD and panic disorder. It's absolutely awful. Do you know, I feel for you. And I think sometimes, I was chatting about this to someone the other day, about labels and about, we are often labelled. And I think sometimes the labels that the medical community give to people are sometimes to help the medical community know what's going on with that person. they're not necessarily massively helpful for the person. Now, this is not a generalization, well, that is a generalization, because I've spoken to other people before, and I know other people who said that getting a diagnosis is massively helpful for them, because it gives them that sense of, okay, I know what's going on for me now. I understand, and I know where to go next. I know more about who I am. But I think sometimes some labels have a lot of connotations that come with them. So I remember someone saying to me, accept the diagnosis, don't necessarily accept the prognosis. So your life is what you make of it. So I think it's important to take the advice of our doctors, to communicate with our medical teams, with our mental health teams and so on. And yet to also be curious about ourselves and what our needs are. And if you've had a diagnosis like that, Jasmine, then that can be scary. It can be sort of the unknown. The future is all of a sudden you're thinking, what does the future hold for me? And actually the future can hold anything you want it to hold. There's so many people who live with what you have got, what you've been told that you have, and people who live really, really good lives. So please don't despair. I think it's important to talk to your team and say, okay, what does this mean for me? Where can I go with this? What can we do? Because I want to live my life and live a good life. Does that make sense? I hope it's helpful in a little way. Let's have a look. So Lindsay says, I feel so anxious on the school run. I act awkward. Oh, bless you. It's all, I think now I'm wondering what it is about the school run that makes you feel that way. Is it because it's other people? Is it other people? What is it that's making you feel that way? Let's have a look. I'm just trying to see if I'm just trying to see. You're getting lots of advice here in the comments. Oh, so I am coming back to you, Lindsay. Okay, Savannah's just said here that you sent your partner's daughter a birthday card. She will love that. Now I don't know how old she is, but when she gets older, you can keep a long distance relationship, and maybe there's a potential for more of a relationship as you get older. But that's a kind and safe thing to be doing. So I think that's good. So I'm going back to Lindsay, and Lindsay was talking about, being on the school run and it just being really difficult. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so many lovely people from I've got someone from Nepal. Hello, it's very nice to have you here. Someone from the Philippines. It's so lovely to have you here. So I'm just looking here. So about the school run. So it's very important for all of us that we feel that we fit in. We try and fit in with the people around us. And when we feel that we don't quite fit in for whatever reason, then that, again, we get the release of adrenaline and cortisol. We get tense in our muscles, our breathing changes, and that can make us feel awkward. And so I think that, some of the advice here that people were saying is that lots of people feel like that, the school run, standing in the playground, there's a lot of judgment, isn't there, in school playgrounds, or at least it can feel that way. It's like when you're at school and there's the cool kids over here and there's the geeky kids over here. And then there's these people over here. I was like by myself, the nerdy one. So, yeah. So I think that understanding that it's a very small part of your day, B, it's not going to last forever, and C, you won't be the only one. So if you can find your tribe, then that would be great. Also, a lot of what you'll be feeling is you might feel that you come over as really awkward. You probably don't to other people. So, just smile. just be interested in other people and maybe get out of there as soon as you can, you know. But it will change. It will change. So, and some of the things that I share on my page, again, might be helpful for you. Maybe do like a breath technique. Maybe do this technique, which is one of the pin techniques. It starts like this. There's a few bit more to it. So, let's have a look. I'm just looking through all the comments. Gosh, yeah. So Tracy says, advice for someone who won't accept help for their anxiety. Mum is overwhelmed with life and she can't cope. I'm assuming that says. It's very difficult, Tracy, because we all have responsibility for our own mental well-being. And if someone won't consider that there's help out there, then that's hard, isn't it? That's hard because you can't make someone get help. It's up to her to realize that there is help out there. Now you can do a bit of ninja therapy by, you know, you could say stuff like, oh look, I saw this thing on TikTok and I tried it and oh, that works really amazingly. So you could share with her some of my pinned posts, like this one is really good. There's the tapping one, which is 10 minutes, which is really helpful. And there's another one, which I think is spinning, but I can't quite remember. You could just randomly say, oh, well, have a look at this. This is interesting, and see what she thinks. Because if you do that, then she might begin to realise that, oh, maybe there is a way forward. I think a lot of people have preconceived ideas of what therapy is and how it feels. I think most people, when you go to your doctor on the NHS, so you will probably, you know, if you're lucky to be referred to talking therapy, you're going to be referred to either a CBT therapist or a counsellor, and those are great. You know, they do really great work. But also the thing to remember is that those are not the only type of therapies that are around. You know, I'm a Quest cognitive hypnotherapy, and we have great evidence to show that our approach works really, really well for people. And it's not just talking about stuff and how difficult things are. It's very practical. It's looking at, okay, this is how I feel. This is what's going on. What can I do about it? So it may well be that she just has this preconception of this is what therapy is going to be like, or no one can help me. That's another thing. People sometimes have that sense of, I'm broken. This is who I am. I am an anxious person. The number of people that I meet who say, I'm just an anxious person, I've always been like this. And I say, well, actually, there's no such thing as an anxious person, because anxiety is a behaviour. It's a protective behaviour. And we all behave anxiously at times, but it doesn't mean that we all behave anxiously all the time, or that we're inherently anxious. And so if you've had something traumatic happen to you, then there's stuff that you can do to reframe that, to cope with that, to be much more in the present. So yeah, if she perhaps, you know, if you just drip little gentle things to her, that might be helpful for her to begin to realise, well, maybe there is another way of being. But sometimes people are so deep in their trance state of, I am this anxious person, that it's very hard. So there's not a lot you can do, unfortunately. So yes, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's have a look. Okay. Let me just having a look at this. Righty ho. Oh gosh, so Ems, I've got therapy in an hour. Very nervous today. Oh, bless you. Okay, it'll be all right. Well, how brilliant that you're doing it, that you're getting therapy, and I really hope that the person who's going to be working with you is really nice and kind and fantastic. Just tell them when you arrive, or when you see them online, or however you're seeing them, just say, oh, I feel really nervous today. I always ask my clients when they arrive, how are you doing today? How have you been since we saw each other last? And sometimes, a lot of the time they'll say, oh, pretty good. Or sometimes they'll go, I've been up and down. And we talk about the stuff that's been the downs, but how they've managed that, how they've coped. And then we still talk about the things that they've managed really well. So it will be a mixed bag for you, I'm sure. And it'll be all right. It'll be all right. I hope, let us know how it goes when you come back next week. Hopefully you'll come back next week. Let us know how it went. Let's have a look. Oh, Jasmine, that's my pleasure. I'm hoping that it was helpful. Let's have a look. So Ali says, I'm trying to get a counsellor, but the government rejected, so no team yet. That's so hard for you, isn't it? How can the government do that? It makes me cross, We should all, I know you're in Australia, so I know it's different, but we should all have access to mental health support. So I really feel for you. I don't know if there's a possibility that you could approach a charity maybe who might have someone who would be trained who could possibly help you. I don't know, but I hope you're all right. Let's have a look here. Just trying. Oh, so Tracey says, Tracey was talking about her mum feeling really anxious and not wanting to go see anyone. I tried to gently coax her. She's having none of it, unfortunately. She thinks it's her life now. Well, I mean, this might sound a bit harsh, but I'm afraid, that's it. I totally understand. As a daughter, you want to help your mum, don't you? But so I had a similar situation with a family member of ours. And it was slightly different. It wasn't to do with mental health, it was something else. And I went to a charity and said, I want to, how can I help this person? This is a long time ago now. And they basically said, you can't, it's their responsibility. They have to choose to seek help. And at the time, I just was gutted. I felt, how dare you? Surely there's something you can do. But now as time has gone on, I've realised, no, we are all adults and we have to take responsibility. And it's terrible from the outside, seeing someone in a terrible state and they just refuse to seek help. But unfortunately, we just have to reach some way of accepting that whilst being as supportive as we can be. Let's have a look. Oh, Jasmine. Hi, managed to claw my day back ever so slightly. Thought I'd pop on for the end. Oh, bless you, Jasmine. Jasmine is one of my moderators who's just absolutely lovely, Jasmine. And she's been working away and has had such a busy week and she wasn't going to be able to do it. And so she's popped on to say hello, everyone, to the lovely Jasmine. It's so nice to have you here. Thank you, everyone, ever so much for all of your likes, for all of your follows, for all of your shares. It does make a really big difference. I mentioned earlier on, I've turned off the gifting facility because although I so appreciate people being really kind and sending gifts, it costs you money. And I just feel like I don't want you giving your money to me, but also to TikTok. So thank you, but I'm going to make sure that's turned off from now on. And also the subscription. I can't turn the subscription off, but please don't subscribe because everything that I do is for free. So let's see. So Lisa says, I've had agoraphobia for 20 years, tried everything and nothing has helped. Gosh, I'm sorry about that, Lisa. That's hard, isn't it? Having agoraphobia. Yeah, I mean, I would say to keep trying, but it's hard, isn't it, when you've tried everything? I don't know, you can have a look through my profile page, there's a link tree to the QCHPA therapist finder, and there are therapists on there that do the same sort of therapy as me. This is all their little profiles, and I know lots of people do sort of free introductory calls or Zoom sessions. So maybe you could have a look on there. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, and see if they could help you. I think most of us do Zoom therapy now, so that might be helpful. But I feel for you. That's hard, isn't it? Let's have a look. So, oh, missed that. That's flown by. Touched the screen and the comment completely disappeared. Let's have a look. Oh, there it is again. So, Harrogras, where is your clinic? So, I actually work most of the time online. So I see most of my clients via Zoom, which works really well. I do work occasionally face to face with people, and that's a clinic in Hertfordshire, in Wheat Hampstead, but which is very lovely. But I don't work there very often. So oh, look at that! Amira says, Amira, work won't help accommodate my mental health needs, and basically said, do the job or leave. Well, that's charming, isn't it? Blimey O'Reilly. Well, I'd have thought you probably got some sort of case there. I mean, don't take my word for it, but that's no good, is it? Are you a member of a union at all? And I would always advise anyone to join a union if you possibly can, because they're the sort of people that you could ask advice from. So because they have a duty of care to you. So obviously I don't know the ins and outs of that, but that is absolutely shocking. So I would have a look, as Lynn says, to go above whoever it is that you're talking to, but also look at, maybe look at Unite. I think is that a Unite or Unison, something like that is a good union. Potentially they could give you legal advice. Also talk to Citizens Advice Bureau, because they do have a duty of care for you. So yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Amira. That's absolutely awful. Alex B, not sure if you remember, but I went to Disneyland with a fear of crowds. I'm going back. Yes, I do remember you. I do remember you asked, it was ages ago. You said you're going to Disneyland and you're really scared of all the crowds. And we talked about, I think, being curious about other people there and that sort of thing. Is that right? I'm so chuffed for you. So was it good fun? Did you enjoy it? It must have been if you're going back. How did you manage it? Because it'd be great for other people to know. So do you know what I really love it when we've had people come on here and then they come back later, or they message me and they go, oh, that thing, I did it and it was all right. Like I had Caitlin the other week, I think I mentioned last week, who messaged me, and she said, I asked about tips because I had my driving test and I was really scared, and I passed my driving test. And to hear from you, Alex, is just amazing. That's so cool. Brilliant. Oh my goodness. Ali is saying here, thanks, Sarah, doing my best. I know you are, Ali. I know you are. Yes, I have short-term counselling, but she cries about her own issues. Oh my God. What is that about? That's well, I mean, I think if she's helping you, then great, but she should not be crying about her own issues, Ali. Should she really? I mean, what's going on there? But at least you've got someone that hopefully is listening to you. Let's have a look here. Alex B says, thank you, I'm excited and nervous, hoping my anxiety will behave itself. Yes. Well, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? If you think about anxiety, and this goes for everyone listening here, if you think about anxiety as a behaviour, so if you're going to cross the road and there's a car speeding, then you immediately go, whoa, don't you? And you react and you pull back, hopefully, and you don't cross the road because there's danger. And that is what anxiety is, but a bit more long term. So it's like all of a sudden there's cars coming every 5 minutes that you don't even know what they are. They might be stuff from your past that you're making a match with, or they might be reality in this present moment, or there might be things in the future that you're imagining, and your brain is just going, whoa, like this, reacting to potential danger. So it's not that you're an anxious person. What you're doing is you're behaving very naturally. But if what I want you to do is look at the evidence of last time that you had a ball, you know, and reimagine that and reimagine that happening, so that if you catch your brain going, oh, what if I'm this, what if I'm that, just flip that on its head and go, well, what if it's as good as last time? What if there's those people and they were having such fun and we laughed and we had ice cream and we went on that ride and I was shrieking with laughter? Do you know, all of that stuff. You'll be good. I think you'll be fine. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, look, Lynn. Lynn just said exactly the same. Exactly. Just think of that. Nicola, this is my second live. Hope to be a regular view. Excellent. That's so cool. That's so cool. It's very nice to have you here. Anna, what's your question? I didn't see. Please, can you look into my question, Sarah? What is your question, Anna? I can't see it. Let me scroll. Oh, there it is. My question: are panic attacks during my sleep or out of the blue? Okay, thank you. So, if you think about a panic attack is when our nervous system has been aware of danger and it's been sending us messages and we've not really done anything about them. And it's just ramped up the messages that it's sending. Okay. Now, if you think about, you've got stuff going on in your life and you go to bed, you go to sleep, and sleep is a time where our brain works out all of the things that have happened in the day. So if you imagine that you've got a little memory stick in the front of your head and it gets filled up, by the end of the day, it's filled up with all the stuff that's happened, all of the worries, all of the things you didn't quite get. And the night time is when I think I'm hesitating because I sound a bit daft, but I imagine lots of little helpers coming and unloading this memory stick and filing everything away, making sense of it, going, okay, we'll put that in long-term memory. We might need that. We'll put that in here so we can access it quickly. And so that's what's happening. Now, sometimes we manage to empty that memory stick so we're all fresh and ready for the next day. And sometimes it's more tricky. And sometimes it's overwhelming. So we're asleep and all our little workers, they're emptying our memory stick. And it all becomes a bit overwhelming because it's like, oh my God, hang on, we're running out of time and we haven't got time to put this and we don't get this and we don't know where to put this. And so your nervous system, which is, if you remember, constantly scanning our external environment, but it's also scanning what's going on inside for us. It will go, oh, too much, red alert, flood you with adrenaline and cortisol, bosh, panic attack, you're going to wake up and you're in a panic attack. Equally, that can be happening out of the blue when you're awake. So you're not aware that your nervous system has noticed unconsciously something that it perceives to be a threat. So that can be something that it's matched to, something that's happened in the past that you don't even remember, or it can be something that is happening here and now. That's the thing, is that consciously we take in about 5 to 7 bits of information every second. You know, you can be aware of a sound and a thing that you're sitting on, or, you know, unconsciously. I think the figure is that our unconscious brain is taking in about 11 million bits of information every second. That's too much for anyone to be consciously aware of. So it's not surprising that we'll just be walking along and all of a sudden our brain, our nervous system will be aware of a sound, a smell, a sensation, a person that looks like that person from way back then, and it throws us into fight or flight or freeze. So that is what's going on there, Anna. What can you do about that? It's important to look at what's going on in your life, look at what's going on in your everyday. Is there stuff going on that is overwhelming? Is there stuff that's lurking in the background? Is there stuff that is going to be happening in the future that you're looking at and thinking, oh, that's worrying me? And if you can sort out your stuff in your waking day, if you can look at that, if you can do the stuff that I talk about, self-care, techniques to help your levels of adrenaline and cortisol come right down, then by the time you go to bed at night and you wind down, have a nice wind down zone, hopefully that will stop happening. Sometimes if you've got stuff that you're being triggered by from the past, it can be really helpful to see a therapist just to go over that, to reframe it. So I hope that helps, Anna. I hope, because it's horrible, isn't it, waking up in the night like that? So I hope that is helpful. Yeah. Oh, Ali, bless you. Ali says, support the workers now. Better hours, better pay. Yes, with you, sister. Yeah, I'm totally for unions, because I think that we all so I think that sleep is a fascinating thing. It really interests me. There's so much that I often work with people who come to me with anxiety, and as a byproduct of their anxiety, their sleep is really disturbed. It's difficult, and it's not surprising because they're on hyper alert. If you imagine yourself as a soldier in the trenches, or on, out in Afghanistan or somewhere, and you are not going to curl up in your bed at night and sleep really, really well. You are going to be alert for noises, for sounds, because your nervous system is intent on keeping you alive. So equally, when we have stuff going on in our lives, we're not going to be sleeping that well. I mean, I've experienced this myself. This last week, I've had a few bits and bobs going on, and I found it so hard to get to sleep. I've had to use all of my therapy techniques to help me. Thank God they do work. The spinning technique is really helpful for getting to sleep. And also, if you've had a panic attack, that the triangle breathing, the spinning can be really helpful. Also, the tapping can be. But I noticed it myself. It's completely natural and normal when you've got a lot going on in your day. So, Lynn says, I think my memory stick is broken and my workers are on strike. Oh, that's what the comments about Ali was saying, yeah, my workers quit, they need a union. Now I get it. I was just being full on, up the workers. And you were talking about your memory sticks not working very well. Okay, so I'm just going to do one last question here, and then I'm going to say goodbye. And I've got one next week, next Friday the 21st, we're doing another live at 12 o'clock. This was a bit early because I've got someone coming round. So next Friday the 21st at 12 o'clock, that's lunchtime UK time, then we will be doing our live then. And the week after that, the 28th, I've got my friend Hazel coming. So we're going to do an interview. Have a look for online for the app Betwixt the Story of You, because she's the co-creator of Betwixt the Story of You. It's a mental health app. It's amazing, really interesting and really different. Go and have a look at it, and maybe we can, thank you, Lynn, we can have a chat about it next week, see what you think of it. And if you have any questions that you want me to give to Hazel Gale, the following week, then you can let me know next week because it's a really great opportunity to be able to have her here as my guest and have a chat with her. So Hazel also wrote, I'll show you this. So Hazel is also the author of this book, Fight, Win Freedom from Self-Sabotage, Reframe Your Past, Rewrite Your Future. So this is a fantastic book that she wrote. So you could ask me questions about that or ask her questions, not me. But that's not next week, it's the following week. But do have a look at Betwixt, because Hazel's going to come along and talk about Betwixt, the story of you, which is an app on the App Store now. So this question from Nurse Meg 82. Question: should parents accompany minors during a therapy session? Okay. So this is a really interesting question. It really depends upon the age of the minor, because for me personally, I don't work with anyone under 12. I would say for me, probably one of the reasons for that is that I wouldn't really want to be working alone necessarily. I think it's a decision for therapists and parents individually. When I work with young people over the age of 12, what I will do is I'll have the parent come in for the first 5-10 minutes to just check in with them if they have any information they want to give me. And then I'll also invite them in for the last 5-10 minutes, just so we can arrange the next appointment and that kind of thing. The main bulk of our session, and here I'm talking here about sort of 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, is just me and the young person. With the proviso, I mean, I get them to sign, there's a contract with the parent and the person. There is informed consent paperwork that I get them to fill in. There's the understanding that although everything is confidential, if at any point I have a concern about the safety of the young person, then I will help them to talk to their parent or caregiver, or ask them to do it themselves. Then I will say I will follow that up and make sure you have spoken to them. So it's a complicated area, and safeguarding is really, really important. I think the safety of the child is always the most important thing. So I hope that's helpful. Does that answer your question, Nurse Megs? I hope that it does. Okay. I'm going to have to bring this to an end. Oh no, oh my goodness. So I've just seen Angel Kate. I've had an awful week, had my bank account hacked. What an experience. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is just awful, my worst nightmare. I do feel for you. I hope you're all right. I'm sending you a big hug, Angel Kate. Oh, and also I can see Cookie. Cookie, hello. Nice to see you. I hope you're all right. Cookie Autistic Insomniac, you've changed your name, but it's lovely to see you. Elizabeth Malmros, it's so lovely to see you. I'm going to have to go because as I said, I've got someone coming round, but I'm not able to stay any longer. But all of you, please take care. I hope you're all right, Angel Kate. Elizabeth, I hope you have a good week. Thank you, all of you, so much for being here. Ali, you take care of yourself. I hope you have a better week. Cookie, I will see you in the next live. Oh, Wendy, it's so nice to see you. You've just turned up at the end. Well, it's lovely to see you, and I hope you're all right. Thank you all so much. Ems, good luck with your therapy session. I hope it goes really well. Apologies about the beginning bit where I was all grey and I had to fiddle about, but it's so nice to see you. Let's see, as Lynn says, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you so much to Lynn. Thank you to Julie. Thank you to Jasmine who popped in. Thank you for being my moderators and keeping this a really safe, friendly space. It's always so nice to see the little interactions between my moderators, between all of you, and it's just so nice. So just take care, all of you. I will see you at 12 o'clock next Friday. If you have just popped in and you're thinking, oh no, I've missed it, I will be uploading it to my YouTube, which is Sarah Aries Therapy on YouTube. The link is in my profile page. There's a link tree straight to the YouTube. So do subscribe to my YouTube, and then you'll get to see all of these in your own time with a cup of tea and a biscuit. So take care. Oh, farm girl, sunny day today from Tennessee. Lucky you. It's raining here. It's miserable. But thank you so much, everyone. Take care, and I will see you next week. And I'll see you in the week as well, no doubt, because I will be posting as I go along. But take care, everyone, and thank you for all of your support. Bye-bye.